Hey, shalom, brothers and sisters. This is Brother Steve coming back with another video. Hey, brothers and sisters, I want to talk to y'all real quick about tools. Yeah, well, I'm going to talk to y'all about some tools today. Um, Thank you for being here. Thank you for your support. Brothers and sisters, this is not going to be a very long video. I just kind of want to share with y'all one of my experiences um, about tools. Around May and June, between May and June last year, May and June, I remember sitting in the car, and mind you, this was around the time that um, I was basically living out this car. You know what I'm saying? So basically, brothers and sisters, um, my air conditioning went out, right? And I don't know if y'all have ever had what you call a blower motor go out. Basically, a blower motor is essentially that. The blower motor, it propels air circulation from your compressor, okay? And the compressor basically gives off the freon, which basically it keeps your car cool. It's the air conditioning. It's the gas that comes out, right? So my blower motor went out, right? And basically you kind of can tell that your blower motor is going out by very, very subtle signs. For instance, if you cut on the air conditioner and you start to hear a bunch of whining noises or grinding, if you will, okay, the blower motor, basically what it does is it starts to make physical contact, and it'll make physical contact, and you'll hear a bunch of noise coming from your glove compartment area inside the vehicle, right? Excuse me. So, brothers and sisters, I tell you what, I was forewarned about this. I could tell that it was going out, um, but like in this type of car, I really wasn't accustomed or knowledgeable about certain sounds from this type of car that I'm in now. Okay. Um, well, anyway, brothers and sisters, I told y'all that I was living up the car, and I tell you, I was making the Most High was providing my daily bread, and I was eating, staying clean, this and that, and that and this, and all that, until one day, uh, one day, it was about 100 and something degrees, maybe 102, 103, 104 degrees, perhaps. A lot of humidity. Brothers and sisters, my air conditioning went out. So now here it is, I'm pressing buttons, right? Now, mind you, brothers and sisters, I'm pressing buttons, hitting switches, pressing buttons, and I'm just like, oh man. I'm just sitting up here, and I tell you, it's so hot, it was humid, had to roll the windows down. So I'm like, okay, what I'm gonna do now? So I went about a week, without air conditioning here during that time. And mind you, y'all, it was about 100 something degrees, 995, 105. It was between that. It was fluctuating. Now, mind you, brothers and sisters, I don't know if any of y'all have lived out the car for long, extended points of times, but what happens is when you are seated in a position upright, and your legs are in a downward position, to have to get in and out of the car over a course of time, and then have to come sit in the car, lay in the car 6-7 hours. What happens is you have what you call edema, fluid buildup, right? Anybody that's had fluid buildup were diagnosed. Y'all diagnosed with what they call a medical term of edema. And edema is basically when your legs, your ankles, and your feet start to swell. Your skin expands to its abnormally from its normal size. So it expands with fluid. So during that course of time, brothers and sisters, I had developed a medical condition called edema. And I knew exactly what it was. And my legs were so swollen. But, I was still enduring. I was still going, still doing my thing, still staying active. And not until that air conditioner went out. And brothers and sisters, I'm going to tell you, when that blower motor went out, I was mad. I mean, I was cussing and everything. And so about a week went by until finally I was like, you know what, I can't take it. So basically I went to the auto shop and I inquired about the cost of replacing my blower motor. Now, with a blower motor, parts, labor, and all that, well, it ended up coming to darn near almost $800-900. Brothers and sisters, I ain't have it, but I'm telling you, I'm looking at the part. The guy brought the part out there, and I just remember thinking, like, man, I didn't really have the finances to correct the situation, to get the car fixed, so that I could get some air up in this car, right? Now, mind you, brothers and sisters, I was extremely, extremely uncomfortable. You walking around with swollen legs and swollen ankles and swollen feet. I mean, large amounts of fluid on your lower extremities. I mean, it's very, very difficult to move. And a lot of people who are living inside their vehicles are experiencing that. I also experienced that myself. So what I did was, when the guy told me how much it was going to cost me, I just said, all right. And I was like, basically I was just like, I'll come back and see y'all, whatever the case may be. Brothers and sisters, I left that shop extremely disappointed. Like man, my legs felt like it was both my legs felt like it was 1,000 pounds. You know what I'm saying? I was uncomfortable. It was hot. I ain't gonna lie, I was I was cussing. And, and all of a sudden something came to me and said, tools. Tools. I started looking at that glove compartment in that area, right? Now, mind you, in my car, you don't want to basically start, you look at stuff, you look at stuff in the interior, it's like you don't want to start messing with things and mess something up, and then it end up costing you more to get fixed because you don't know what you're doing, right? And the more and more I thought about it, after I left that store, I looked around, and what came to me was tools. Tools. I was so focused on the problem. I was so focused on the discomfort. I was so focused on the disappointment that I didn't look at the bigger picture. See, the Most High was trying to show me something. He was telling me something. Tools. I inspected and looked at that area of the car, and I thought to myself, well, if I ain't got the money for them to fix it, and they wanted $800-900 or whatever it was, I said, at least I could attempt to fix it myself. Now, mind you, it was early enough in the day. This was like 11 o'clock in the morning. It was already hot as I don't know what. Brothers and sisters, I went back up in that store, right? I went back up in the store and I asked that guy, I said, hey, my man, I like, bruh, how much is that part, bro? Well, he was like, well, sir, this, that. And it was like $200-300 part. And I had it. You know what? I went and copped that boy. You know what I'm saying? Not knowing what I was going to do with it. But I know I had some tools. I had some tools. And what I did was, brothers and sisters, I bought the part, got back in my car, and I went to an undisclosed location, a big old parking lot. When I got to that parking lot, away from everybody so that I could, focus and not, what I'm saying, I, kind of just watch my back so I could pay attention to what I was doing. When I started inspecting the area in terms of where this blower motor was at, it wasn't in a typical area. Now, it was in a glove compartment area, but it wasn't in a typical area. And I started researching. I went online. I'm looking at online at different makes and models of vehicles in terms of how they structure and put blower motors in. Now, blower motors, for the most part, are under the dash. They're under the dash, glove compartment areas. But for this particular car here, I had to take the whole thing out. And I'm looking at these videos and I'm just like, man, how am I gonna do this? And then the second thing that came to me was wire connections. And I ain't gonna lie. There are people who are specialized in electrical connectivity at these auto parts stores or these auto repair facilities, right? But something says, Steve, what you gonna do? So I mustered up the strength. I prayed about it. I cut me on a video. And mind you, the video didn't show you everything. It was just like, the video had to have been about 3 minutes. So I had 3 minutes to study this video. And then after 3 minutes of studying this video, I conceptualized what this guy was telling me. But the most important thing is I had the tools. I had the tools. I prayed about it. I operated by faith. And then I enabled that faith with works. Because the Most High told me, tools. Tools. Brothers and sisters, I attacked replacing that blower motor and pulling that old one out and getting it. And bottom line is, it took me about 5 hours. Now, obviously, somebody who's got the power, all the power tools and a specialist or whatever doing work like that, they probably had that thing done in an hour and a half. But for me, I was in the middle, secluded area, parking lot. I laid everything out, and it took me every little bit of 5 hours to do this job. Brothers and sisters, at the end of this thing, once I got that thing out and I got it put back in, I sat there for a second before I started putting everything together. Check this out, y'all. This is what my passenger side looked like. This was last year. You know what I'm saying? Now, mind you, when I finally got that boy out, this is what that thing looked like right here. And I took pictures of it. And brothers and sisters, I was so happy because I couldn't believe that I had actually did a job like that. I took a picture of the new one. This was the new blower motor. That's what that thing looked like. I put that thing back in, and I started giving the Most High all his glory, thanks and praise. I was so happy. It was like I was like a kid in a candy store, brothers and sisters. I was like a kid in the candy store. I was so happy. I was like one of them fat kids with Twinkies, jumping for joy. You know what I'm saying? One of them fat kids that could eat cake. I was happy, y'all. Brothers and sisters, what I'm trying to tell y'all is the Most High came to me and he said, son, you have tools. Utilize the tools that I've given you. It's already in you to do the work. Once I was done, y'all, with swollen legs and everything, I think after I got done with that, I went and got me something to eat. I went back to my spot where I usually go when I'm done, done with my day. And I can't tell y'all how good I slept. I wasn't hot no more. Brothers and sisters, the Most High God, in times of distress, in emergency situations, where we don't see a way, because we're so caught up in what we can't do. Sometimes we don't see what the Most High has put in front of us. Tools. Before we even go to him, he already has the answers. And I know sometimes there are times where what we want doesn't materialize at that specific point in time. But the Most High God is faithful. He always shows up and he's always on time. And he blessed me with his tools. All right? Okay. I wanted to share that with y'all. I hope it blessed somebody, for whom it may. Y'all like the video, give it a thumbs up, share it. May the Most High God, Ahaya, Bashem Yeshaya, will walk in Christ, our Lord Jesus, continue to bless every single one of you. And let the spirit of peace and rest go ahead of every single one of you brothers and sisters right now. All right? Love y'all. God bless. Shalom. This is Brother Steve. I'm out. Peace.